Have you ever noticed how life seems to slow down a bit after the kids grow up and move out? Maybe it's quieter around the house now, or maybe your weekends don't feel as packed with activity. If you're like many grandparents, you might even find yourself wondering if this new chapter of life is supposed to feel, well, a little less exciting. But here's the thing. This stage of life doesn't have to be about slowing down. In fact, staying active and involved, especially with your grandkids, can bring so much joy and energy into your days. Think about it for a moment. When was the last time you laughed so hard your cheeks hurt? Chances are, it might have been during one of those silly moments with your grandkids. Whether it's their endless curiosity, their boundless energy, or the way they see the world with fresh eyes, there's something magical about spending time with them. And guess what? Science backs this up. Studies show that staying connected with family, especially grandchildren, can actually improve your mental and emotional well-being. It's not just about feeling happy in the moment. It's about creating memories, staying mentally sharp, and even boosting your physical health. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but my grandkids are always on their phones or tablets. How do I even connect with them? Or maybe you're wondering, what if I'm not sure what they like to do these days? Don't worry, we're going to dive into all of that. In this video, we'll go over 5 fun and simple ways you can bond with your grandkids. These ideas are easy to try, and they'll help you create those special moments that both you and your grandkids will treasure for years to come. So let's get started with the first idea. The first way to connect with your grandkids is through storytelling. Now, I know what you're thinking. Storytelling sounds like something from the old days, right? But trust me, it's still incredibly powerful. Kids love hearing stories, especially when they're about you. Think about it. Your life is like a treasure chest full of adventures, lessons, and funny moments. Your grandkids probably don't know about the time you got lost on a road trip and ended up at a tiny diner where you met the most interesting people. Or the time you tried to bake a cake for the first time and ended up with something that looked more like a science experiment. These stories aren't just entertaining. They're a way to share your experiences and pass down family traditions. So how do you make storytelling work? Start by setting aside some time when you're together. Maybe it's during a car ride, or while you're sitting on the porch watching the sunset. You don't need any fancy props or setups. Just start talking. Ask them if they've ever wondered what life was like back in the day. Trust me, they'll be curious. And don't be afraid to sprinkle in a little humor. Kids love funny stories, and they'll remember those moments for a long time. Now, here's the best part. Storytelling isn't just one-sided. Once you've shared a story or two, turn the tables and ask them to tell you about their lives. What's their favorite game? Who's their best friend at school? What's the funniest thing that happened to them this week? Listening is just as important as sharing, and it shows your grandkids that you genuinely care about their world. Let's move on to the second way to connect, getting creative together. This is where you can really let your imagination run wild. Maybe you're thinking, I'm not an artist. I don't even know how to draw a stick figure. That's okay. Creativity isn't about being perfect. It's about having fun. And there are so many ways to tap into your creative side with your grandkids. For example, you could try baking cookies together. Yes, baking counts as creativity. Let them pick out the cookie cutters, add the sprinkles, or even taste test the dough. Just make sure it's safe. The kitchen can become your very own art studio, and the best part is, you get to enjoy the results together. If baking isn't your thing, how about crafting? You don't need anything fancy, just some paper, glue, and markers can lead to hours of fun. Make cards for family members, create a scrapbook of your favorite memories, or even build a birdhouse if you're feeling adventurous. The key is to focus on the process, not the end result. It's about laughing together, making a little mess, and enjoying each other's company. And here's a bonus tip. Take pictures along the way. Whether it's a photo of the two of you covered in flour or holding up your latest masterpiece, these images will become cherished mementos. They'll remind you of the fun you had and give you something to laugh about later. Now that we've covered storytelling and getting creative, let's move on to another way to connect with your grandkids. Imagine this. You're sitting outside on a sunny afternoon, and instead of scrolling through your phone, you're teaching them something new, something they'll remember forever. This brings us to our third way to connect, sharing skills or hobbies. Think about the things you've picked up over the years: cooking, gardening, woodworking, knitting, fishing, you name it. These are skills that might feel second nature to you now, but to your grandkids, they can be fascinating and completely new. Here's the beauty of this idea. It's not just about teaching them how to do something. It's about creating a shared experience. For example, let's say you love gardening. You could invite your grandkids to join you in planting flowers or vegetables. Give them their own little patch of dirt to work with and let them dig in with their hands. Sure, they might get messy, but that's part of the fun. As you plant together, you can teach them about how seeds grow, why sunlight matters, and the importance of patience. And when those plants start to bloom or bear fruit, they'll feel so proud knowing they helped make it happen. Or maybe you're more of a kitchen person. Cooking is another fantastic way to pass on your knowledge while spending quality time together. Teach them how to make a family recipe, perhaps a dish that's been passed down for generations. Even something as simple as pancakes can become a cherished tradition if you make it special. Let them crack the eggs and giggle at the shells that inevitably end up in the bowl. Stir the batter and flip the pancakes on the griddle. The sense of accomplishment they'll feel when they take that first bite? Priceless. And don't underestimate the power of teaching life skills, too. Things like tying shoelaces, sewing on a button, or even balancing a checkbook might seem basic to you. But these are lessons your grandkids will carry with them for years. Plus, it gives you a chance to share your wisdom and values in a practical way. They'll look up to you as someone who knows how to do things, and that's a pretty amazing feeling. Now, here's the thing about sharing skills. It doesn't have to be perfect. Maybe your grandkid struggles to thread the needle or accidentally spills flour all over the counter. That's okay. In fact, those little mishaps often lead to the best memories. What matters most is that you're spending time together and showing them that learning can be fun. Let's move on to our fourth way to connect, which is all about play. Yes, I said play. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, I'm not exactly sure how to play anymore. But here's the secret. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Kids are naturally creative, and they'll guide you if you're willing to follow their lead. Whether it's playing board games, building forts out of blankets, or heading outside for a game of catch, the key is to let yourself go and embrace the moment. Board games, for instance, are a great way to bond because they're interactive and often filled with laughter. Classics like Monopoly, Scrabble, or Candyland are always crowd pleasers, but don't shy away from trying something new. There are so many fun games out there designed specifically for different age groups, so ask your grandkids what they enjoy. If you're feeling adventurous, you could even introduce them to card games you used to play as a child. Teaching them how to shuffle and deal cards can be surprisingly entertaining. And who knows, you might spark a love for games that last a lifetime. If you're more of an outdoor person, then head outside and get moving. You don't have to run marathons or climb mountains. Just being active together can be incredibly rewarding. Go for a walk around the neighborhood, toss a frisbee back and forth, or fly a kite at the park. If you live near water, skipping stones across a pond can be mesmerizing for kids. And if you're lucky enough to have a backyard, set up a scavenger hunt or build a fort using whatever materials you have on hand. The goal isn't perfection, it's connection. It's about creating moments where you're both fully present and engaged with each other. One of my favorite examples of this comes from a friend who told me about her grandfather teaching her how to skip rocks when she was little. She said she'll never forget the sound of his laugh as he cheered her on, and how proud she felt when she finally got one to bounce 3 times. Those kinds of memories stick with kids, and they'll associate those feelings of joy and accomplishment with you. Now that we've talked about sharing skills and embracing play, let's move on to our final way to connect with your grandkids. This one is all about technology. But don't worry, it's simpler than it sounds. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, technology? That's not really my thing. And that's perfectly okay. You don't have to be a tech wizard to connect with your grandkids through the digital world. They'll actually love showing you how things work. This brings us to our fifth and final way to bond. Embracing technology in a way that feels natural and fun for both of you. Let's face it, kids today are growing up surrounded by screens, apps, and gadgets. While it's important to balance screen time with other activities, there's no denying that technology can be a powerful tool for connection. The key is to use it as a bridge rather than a barrier. For example, if your grandkids live far away, video calls can be a wonderful way to stay close. Platforms like Zoom, FaceTime, or even just a simple phone call can make the distance feel smaller. During these calls, ask them to show you their favorite game or app. Maybe they'll teach you how to draw on a tablet or introduce you to a funny meme. These little interactions might seem small, but they mean so much to kids because they're sharing a piece of their world with you. If you're lucky enough to see your grandkids in person, you can still incorporate technology in creative ways. For instance, try making a video together. Grab your phone or tablet and let them take the lead as you film a mini movie about your day. They can direct, act, or even narrate while you handle the camera. Or, if photography is more your speed, go on a photo walk around the neighborhood. Let them snap pictures of things they find interesting, flowers, bugs, clouds, and then sit down later to look at the photos together. You might be surprised by how differently they see the world, and it's a great opportunity to bond over shared discoveries. Another fun idea is to explore educational apps or games together. There are so many interactive programs out there designed to make learning enjoyable, whether it's solving puzzles, practicing math skills, or exploring history. Pick something that aligns with their interests or yours and dive in as a team. Not only will this help them learn, but it'll also give you a chance to share your own knowledge in a fresh, modern way. Plus, who knows, you might pick up a few tech tips along the way. And here's a bonus thought. Social media can actually be a positive tool if used thoughtfully. If your grandkids are old enough to have accounts, consider creating one yourself, with their parents' permission, of course. Follow each other and exchange messages or comments on posts. It's a lighthearted way to stay connected between visits and shows them that you're interested in their lives, even the parts that happen online. Now, before we wrap things up, let me leave you with this. Staying involved with your grandkids isn't about being perfect or doing everything right. It's about showing up, being present, and letting them know how much they mean to you. Whether it's through storytelling, creativity, teaching skills, playing together, or embracing technology, every moment you spend with them is a gift for both of you. Those smiles, those laughs, those wide-eyed moments of wonder, they're what make life richer and happier at any age. As we come to the end of this conversation, I hope you feel inspired to try some of these ideas. Remember, small steps can lead to big changes. Start with one activity, one story, or one game, and see where it takes you. And hey, if you've already found your own special way to connect with your grandkids, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a comment below and share your experiences. You never know who might need a little inspiration today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more tips and stories like this. We're here to help you live your best life, no matter your age. So here's to creating memories, building bridges, and finding joy in the everyday moments. Thank you for spending this time with me. And remember, being a grandparent is one of the most rewarding roles you'll ever have. Here's to living your happiest, most connected life at 60, 70, 80, or beyond.